guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Thoughts. This time, all three of us are back. No more one or the other's out. We got David, we got John, and I'm Gio Galvez. Guys, this is the episode where we're just talking about football. And because this weekend we have the Super Bowl, it's finally here, guys. It's finally here. So far, right before we get into it, just how you guys feel that the Super Bowl's already here.
Sad.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Okay, not
Super
the answer that I was
disappointed.
thinking about, but
Sad. I'm sad because football's over.
that's
That
fair.
and
That's a fair
Niners are
thing.
in the Super Bowl, which pisses me off.
All right, that's like a lot of people. That's like a lot of people. I was expecting more, surprise or just, you know, unbelief that the season went by so fast. Because that's how I'm feeling. I feel like the season went by hella fast,
It did.
Yeah,
too fast.
for sure.
I don't know what it was, but it was like just like last week we were at the start of the season, kicking off the Lions and the Chiefs game. But we're here at the end. It's the end of the road. One last game this Sunday. Speaking of the Lions, let's start off with the conference championship games. Lions and Niners. John, you just said you're mad that the Niners are in the Super Bowl, and I think anyone that's not a Niners fan feels the exact same way. I know I do. Lions unable to get the job done, and that was very disappointing. After having a 24-7 lead early in the first half, which was a great first half for the Lions, unable to hold the lead. Just you guys give your thoughts on it right now.
Well, the Lions, man, they freaking dropped way too many passes in the second half. They got too conservative. They didn't run the ball enough. They literally were throwing stupid little passes to Josh Reynolds. And fourth downs, they shouldn't have gone for it as many times as they did. Literally would have had 30 points at least if they didn't freaking go for it. Because I think it was like 3 fourth downs in a row they went for it on three consecutive possessions. They went for it, and Josh Reynolds dropped the ball, and then they just literally he choked the game for them
And
in
then
the
they didn't
second
go.
half.
They didn't go for the field goal, just to take a lead,
Yeah,
or
they
they could
could
have
have
had two
held
to have a
they,
bigger lead.
they could have held the competitive edge of the Niners, made the Niners feel like they were in a bigger hole than what they were,
Mm-hmm.
and they threw a stupid interception later on in the second half, so that kind of screwed them over as well. It just you can't give the Niners hope. The Niners will catch fire just like that. They have too many damn weapons. I know Debo was potentially hurt apparently, which he didn't even look like it. He looked good. Like I didn't see any problems with the Niners. Like the Niners have no excuse to lose the Super Bowl as well. But we'll get back to that later. But Niners did I don't know, they looked really bad in the first half. They looked like a shell of themselves. And the Lions just should have kept putting the gas on the throttle. They should have just kept going and run the ball down their throat. So they should have kept doing. It was working in the first half, and they literally just stopped doing it. They're just throwing stupid little passes, and it wasn't enough. You saw what Jared Goff was and is, not a Super Bowl quarterback. But yeah, that's my take. Dave, what about you?
We shouldn't be disappointed in the Lions, though. Nobody expected this, right?
Uh, I I
You didn't expect them
I
to
don't know
reach
how
the
you
conference finals.
I did.
know, but expected them. Well, John might have, but expected them to do something in the playoffs, and they did. And
Mhm.
and I think that's your point, David. That
But I'm saying no one expected the Lions to reach it this far to the conference finals and be contenders to make it to the Super Bowl.
yeah, but they were our
So,
only
At
hope,
the beginning of the
David.
season,
After
no,
the
I did not
Ravens
expect
couldn't
them.
beat the Chiefs, the Lions were America's only hope. They
Yeah,
were the ones,
it's the
and they
worst Super
gave
Bowl
us false
matchup.
hope.
yeah. Well,
I,
one thing I want to mention about what John said is that how their opportunities with the field goal didn't decide to take it. Remind me of the Chargers in the Brandon Staley era. Um,
Raiders Chargers, the last game of the year. Remember that one? They went for it on fourth
yeah,
down. God damn it.
yeah. I guess it was the pressure on the coach to no, they have to go for it, and it's the playoffs. It's the it's the conference finals. They're one step away from the Super Bowl. You have to go for, they have to, show some, what.
If it was 4th and 1, David, I would understand. But they were going like 4th and 4, 4th and 7. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
hell are you doing?
not only that, it's Dan Campbell is known all since he's got there 3 years ago because this is his third season there. Ever since being there, he made it clear that they're a hardworking, grit, like he says, bite your kneecaps off type of team. That's what he was building them to be. And yes, this season especially, they've proven that even with the loss to the Cowboys, that going for it on two instead of tying in with the field goal shows what kind of team they were. But David, for your point, it wasn't that he was being pressured to go for it on fourth down. It was that he was so stuck on that mentality of that I should go for on fourth down because this is what makes me Dan Campbell. This is what makes the Lions the Lions. This is who we are. Instead of taking a step back from this, from almost always trying to go for it on fourth down and going, hey, you know what? We should just get the points, tie the game, actually take the lead, take the lead right now, put some pressure on the Niners, and that they have to get that touchdown because if not, then they're gonna have to set up the field goal and give us time on the clock, and this and like that. But instead, they went for it on a fourth down where, like you said, Josh Reynolds drops the ball, and I know they don't go for the field goal, which ends up being they didn't convert the first down. So it's a lot on Dan Campbell, David. Just to tell you that he wasn't being told by someone, "Oh, you have to go for it." It's that was him. He made that decision himself.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And he said because it's like this is your one and only chance. He's like, this is your chance to make the Super Bowl.
And
You
he said that
gotta
after the
do
game.
it. Hmm. Yeah. So that's what I'm just saying. It's not really the pressure of doing it. It's him making that conscious decision instead of taking that step back and like, you know what? Maybe we should just kick the field goal here. We have a kicker for a reason, not just kick PATs.
He was afraid that's gonna happen similar to happen to the Bills.
Yeah, but
Or,
I'd rather see that
Oh, the extra
happen.
points. My bad. Mhm.
I'd rather them miss the field goal than not give up points they could have
try.
had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they need to at least attempt it.
Yeah, and I think, well, David, sorry, before I cut you off, was there anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's all I mentioned. That no, pretty much what he said is that. No, I understand what you're trying to say. It's his conscious, his mentality. But I'm pretty sure it was the moment being the NFC Championship. You just have to go and hit the 49ers as strong as you can. But it cost them.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were America's only hope. It was the Ravens. I wouldn't. Everyone's tired about the Chiefs making it to the Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
we'll,
but
we'll,
Fucking
talk-
stop,
we'll talk.
bro.
but
We'll
the
talk about that
Ravens
in a
played
little bit.
first. But the Ravens played first, so
Yeah.
once the Ravens lost, America's only hope for a team to root for in the Super Bowl was the Lions. That's what I was saying.
We'll wait for that in a little couple of minutes though. But just finish with the Lions.
Yeah, so my ending take of this is exact. I've said it about what Dan Campbell, what he did. I do believe he should just kick the field goal. I respect and just as a viewer, and I think a lot of people do, you enjoy seeing Dan Campbell being that ballsy to do all these first go on fourth down to get the first or get the touchdown, whatever the situation is throughout the season. You enjoy seeing someone take those risks. But even at a time like this, as a viewer, you're like, all right, you gotta be smart about it. You just gotta be smart. And there comes a time where like, all right, man, like you you've done it enough already. Let's just win the game. Even if you're a fan or not. So that's one thing I think Dan Campbell should get part of the blame. Yes, the players also get part of the blame. I think it all comes down like defense. I understand it's hard to stop Christian McCaffrey with that run. I'm not saying that their line should have been able to do that, but being able to stop the pass, like John said, Deebo Samuels didn't look that bad. I think he came back fine after missing pretty much the entire Packers game because he's getting hurt early. He rested that week, came back. I think he looked fine. Ayuk and Kittle look really good. So I think it was up to the Lions secondary to be able to stop the pass and be able to stop the the ball being moved down aside from Christian McCaffrey on the Niners side. And they made Purdy look good in a way that it shouldn't have. And that's my opinion. And like John says, the Niners, they've proven it twice already in the playoffs. Don't give them hope because they're gonna come back and make you pay. They did it to the Packers who had the lead, and now they did it to the Lions who had a 24-7 lead. Exact same thing. You gave them just a slight bit of hope. You have the best running back in the country, and look what they did. They clicked in all cylinders. They figured it out, and they got it going. So
Yeah.
you had to stop that from them, but also the defense had to play better. The offense, Jared Goff had to be so much better. Like yes, John, one of his interceptions was at the end of the game, right? That's what sealed the game pretty much. But throughout the game, you had to play much better. I think yes, Reynolds dropped the pass, but there was other passes that were dropped too. I think he could have thrown a couple better passes to Amon Ra, to even Gibbs. I don't think they use Gibbs out a lot. Like they they show him, they throw him to the side, don't almost like a jet sweep type of play. They have him run out to the right or to the left depending where he is. They pass it down and let him make the plays, make him be the playmaker. Or like John, like you said, run it down more with David Montgomery or Gibbs, whoever, because every
It's their
possession they
specialty.
just they use that one running back for that drive. So it's like keep it going. Keep that
Yeah.
going. If you want
They
to
could
come with
tire the
trick play
Niners
with
out.
Gibbs, yeah, if you want to come with trick play, and think about it, your running game was working against this Niners defense. That their best thing is the run defense, and it was working.
Yeah.
So it's like you were beating them at their best defense. You're beating them at this. You weren't even beating them like throwing the ball, which I think they should have too. So
Well,
not to go much on it, but that's kind of how.
yeah. And a story, Niners were going on Super Bowl, and
Mm-hmm. And
they're
now
they're
they're gonna face the Chiefs, who
yeah.
we saw them just pick apart the Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion. But I'll
I
let
think the
you guys
Ravens
go
choked.
first.
Ravens choked. Do you see that fumble
Yeah.
at the 1 yard line? That one guy did. Like God, dude,
Zay Flowers.
dude, he must be hating himself right now. He's gonna have a long off season. That dude, just because that would have been like only a 3-point game if he had gotten the touchdown there. And I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs didn't even look that great offensively. Their defense is good though. Their defense is amazing this year. The Chiefs, they're like probably the number one defense in the NFL right now. Just how they've been looking this year. Like
Not number one.
I'm not
but
saying off stats. I'm saying off the eye test. How
I
they've
still
looked
wouldn't
this
put them
freaking
number one.
defense. I will. This playoffs, they've been number one defense. They're not giving up more than 20 points per game. Everyone else is like scoring 40 points, 30 points. You saw, freaking Cowboys gave up a bunch of your Packers. Niners gave up 34 to the Lions.
Yeah,
The
but we're
Chiefs
not
haven't
gonna
given up
just
over
act
20,
like
bro.
we're just not gonna act like the first game the Chiefs played was in literally the frozen tundra of the Arctic. Like
So,
how you expect the Miami team to do anything, you know, in that cold weather that they're not built for too. You expect Tua to play in some type of way. Like, yes, their defense has been good. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But to be number one and they're playing in conditions like they've played in,
I'm just saying in the playoffs. I'm
you
not saying overall the whole season. The playoffs.
no, I
They
know, I
look
know.
like
That's
number
what I'm
one
talking about. I'm not
defense.
talking about from the Miami game
And the Buffalo
We
game
could
too.
exclude
too.
that one. Exclude that
What?
one, the Miami one. Exclude the Miami one because
But they played well against
poor man.
Buffalo. Their defense.
Oh, Buffalo,
They held
yeah, and that
Josh.
was in Buffalo too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They
yeah.
held Josh Allen to nothing.
Yeah, but I was just saying the
Like
Miami one don't count it because poor Miami is only -3 degrees. I mean,
But that's my
it's,
point. That's my
yeah,
point, David.
yeah.
That their defense looked even better to a Miami team that you could literally say was one ill prepared, just game scheming, and then was ill prepared for the weather. But I'll give you the Buffalo one. The Chiefs defense did play really good against
And
Buffalo, and they played
Baltimore,
really great
obviously.
against Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody was able to stop Lamar all year. He'd be getting like 30, 40 points. Like, they'd be blowing everyone out. Like, I saw Seattle lost 37-3 to them earlier in this year, and I'm like, nobody's even close to these guys except for I think it was the Browns, the only ones that beat them, and like two other teams, like the Colts, Browns. I think those were the teams that beat them only this year. Oh, and the Steelers, obviously. Yeah, the Steelers. So it was Colts,
Yeah,
Browns, and
Steelers beat them
Steelers.
twice.
Yeah,
Steelers beat them
so
twice. Yeah.
it was three teams that beat them this year, and the Chiefs didn't play them this year, so they had a couple of tricks up their sleeves that they threw at the Ravens, and it definitely worked the way they were containing Lamar, you know. But yeah, do you guys have any other thoughts on that game?
Oh, just what a huge disappointment the Ravens were. They were literally the favorite to make
Oh,
it
I
and win the
know.
Super Bowl. They had the best record, and then they fumbled it. Yes.
Wet the bed
Um.
for sure.
They what?
They wet the bed for sure.
They
I'm
what?
saying.
Top it off, like to
Oh,
start off with Mahomes in that game, he went perfect. I believe 100% passing, like pass 11 for 11. His first 11 passes of that game. I think it was 11. It was either 10 or 11. He hit all 10 passes at the beginning. It wasn't until the second quarter where he got his first incomplete pass.
yeah.
And I think he ended up being like it's like the 13th, the 12th, 13th, something like that kind of pass. So Mahomes was playing great. Him and Kelsey clicked automatically right at the start.
Yeah, 241 passing yards, and
That's
obviously the
not
16
bad.
points he was involved. Yeah. Lamar Jackson had 272, but obviously the interceptions what ruins it for him.
Yeah.
But so looking at this game, I think both teams started off very well. Of course, the Chiefs started off getting that touchdown in the beginning. Ravens were able to, punch back and get a touchdown of their own. So it looked like it was going to be a very good game. It looked like at first that the Chiefs defense weren't going to be able to contain Lamar, in my opinion. At first, on that first drive, it looked like they weren't going to be able to contain Lamar. And it looked like on the Ravens defense on that first drive, Mahomes and Kelsey were too locked in. Obviously, led to Kelsey getting that touchdown. They were too locked in. The Ravens defense didn't know how to prepare for just one of those quick passes. In my opinion, those quick passes and those ready looks, and because they didn't run it much with Pacheco in that first drive. They didn't do too many passes to other players in that first drive. It was mainly Mahomes and Kelsey with a couple sprinkled here and there. I don't think the Ravens were. They should have been ready for it, but they weren't. And then even that first touchdown, you put Kyle Hamilton, arguably one of the best corners, right? The best young corner. You think he's a sophomore, third year out of Notre Dame. Put it on Kelsey, and it just shows the difference in experience. Where Kelsey knew running, he had a cut to the right to the outside corner on the bottom, and just open up, and Mahomes places perfectly. It shows that even with your best defender, he still got beat. So you had to prepare. You had to be changed. Seeing this is like, okay, how are we going to change it up? Because they're doing a lot of one-on-ones with Kyle Hamilton and Kittle. Because I mean, not Kittle, Travis Kelsey. Because to be honest, Kyle Hamilton could lock down Justin Watson, Rasheed Rice, like any of these Marquez Valdez Scantling. Like he could lock down any of these, but Kittle was the one that was the hardest for him, and I don't blame him. But throughout this drive, we're seeing that Mahomes got everyone else involved, got Rice involved, got Pacheco more involved. They even used Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I didn't look it up, but he didn't get a lot of playing time this year after his rookie year, which he coming out of LSU, it's high expectations. He hasn't done much. So and even he was getting used in this game. John, I agree with you. The Ravens did wet the bed. This was for the Ravens to win. It was for the Ravens to win, and they choked it because at the end of it, you're looking at this. You had Lamar Jackson, and I've said this 2 episodes ago, before going into this game. What the Chiefs are gonna have to do with Lamar Jackson and force him to throw the ball. Force him to throw the ball because If you force him to throw the ball, that's where a lot of the problems are going to happen. Because again, he's like I've said, he feels himself that look, all these people are saying I'm a quarterback that can throw the ball. I should be a running back. I should be this and that. Well, I'm gonna prove that I could throw the ball. I can prove that my MVP season, I'm doing all this stuff. So he's coming to this game saying, I could throw against this Chiefs secondary. I could throw against this and that. I have Zay Flowers. I have Odell Beckham Jr. Even though he only passed it to him once that whole game, he's
Yeah.
like, I had Mark Andrews or almost like Isaiah Likely for majority of the time. If you look, the only time they ran the ball the most, an actual running back, sorry, not different, an actual running back was in the first half, and majority of it was on the first few drives of the game. In the second half, first few drives of the game. Other than that, most of the running was going to Lamar. Right? He even caught his own pass. The one that was batted in the air, he caught it, he ran for 13 yards.
Yeah,
Right?
Lamar
He
has to
has
do
a pass to
everything.
himself.
He has to do
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly. Most of the passes, again, Isaiah Likely was getting the second most, but the first was Zay Flowers because he is and clearly wide receiver one for the team. Now going to offseason, they're gonna have to look to get a wide receiver two because Odell Beckham is no longer that wide receiver. He's gonna be wide receiver three. So Zay Flowers is wide receiver one. And that play, John, like you said, he fumbled it at the 1 yard line.
I was at
It
work when that
wasn't third
happened.
down. It wasn't. It wasn't fourth down where if you didn't get the touchdown, it was gonna be a turnover on downs. Dude, take the hit and get the down, then you could run it in. Like you got hit at the 1 yard line, maybe the 2 yard line, right? Depending wherever would have been 2 yard line. You're telling me that you wouldn't come up with a third or fourth down play to run the ball with one of the
Yeah.
best running quarterbacks? I get it. You want to score the touchdown because he got the one only touchdown for the Ravens, right? That was a great play in which I thought Lamar was going to get sacked. But I'm gonna go to that point. I know I'm talking a lot, but these are my point. Um, he should have just taken the hit and go down because pretty much it cost him game. John, like you said, it would have been a 3-point game. Would have changed the dynamic of the game. The Chiefs would have thought differently instead of having that instead of Ravens having to eventually go for a field goal later on and only being down 7. The Chiefs would have felt more pressured and would have tried and forced to get a touchdown or even a field goal, which would change the dynamic of the game. That's John's point. It would have been a 3-point game, would have changed everything when it comes to scheming and everything else that goes with it. And that just ruined. That took out the momentum of the Ravens. And then yes, Lamar Jackson's interception at the end that pretty much sealed the game. But that was it.
Yeah.
My last point I want to point out is that the Chiefs front four defense, their D line, the first line of defense, Chris Jones and all those boys, they're playing great defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing great. I did not think that front four would be pressuring Lamar as much as they did. Getting to, I believe they had 5 or more sacks. I know they had at least
I think
almost
it was
5,
6.
6, but I think like 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them were coming close. They're in the first half, but they could have had more. Sorry, my point was they could have had even more because there was so many of them where Lamar literally escaped the touchdown play that Lamar threw. He
Yeah.
escaped from getting sacked. The hand was on him. He went around, got up, saw Zay Flowers, and threw it. The Ravens need to find more help on the O line, whether it's free agency or it's drafting. However you want to do it, this is the Ravens' prime time right now to get Lamar a ring. You need to get some protection because Chris Jones was breaking through way too many. He had tip passes to break up plays multiple times. He had one that's the biggest one where he stretched his hand out. He stretched his hand out and tipped it because it was a short play. I don't know why they were doing that play on a third down. On a third down. It's a third down. You're throwing the short play because it was like a 36, I believe. It's like, why? Throw it down, run it. Like, I didn't understand. But Chris Jones was pressuring too much, allowed his teammates to also get to Lamar because they're almost having to double team Chris Jones at one point, right? Allowing the rest of the defense to get to Lamar. Lamar, being the quarterback that he is, being aware, being able to scramble, being able to run, being able to do all of that, I was glad he was able to keep drives alive. Now he did kill some drives because he tried to run it. He tried to force himself. He tried to do a lot of QB draws, and it got him sacked after only getting a yard or two. So I think it should have been better play calling by Harbaugh and Lamar. Coming, being on the same page. But just that Chiefs defense, you have to give props to them. That Chiefs defense just played phenomenal, destroying that Ravens O line. Lamar had to be aware every single time. And that was the other part. Lamar trying to throw it. So now that's my point here. They weren't going to run it. Even if they did, the Chiefs defense were there. But now he's thinking of passing it. He doesn't have 5 seconds to make that pass. He has 2 at best. Is he going to make the accurate pass? Is the players going to be wide open? So I think the Chiefs defense just played really great to get them uncomfortable in that game.
Yeah,
They sure did.
and
They made him crack, or how John says, wet the bed. That's what the Chiefs did. Something that the 49ers should be concerned about, because I'll be honest, the 49ers haven't convinced me anymore as they were in the regular season. But before we jump to the Super Bowl game, I think you were saying something, John?
No, I was gonna talk about the Super Bowl. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. So,
well, then that leads us to where we are: Las Vegas, Nevada, at 3:30 Pacific time this Sunday, February 11th. We have the Super Bowl, which will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers.
Nickelodeon.
Now, guys, actually, no, I'll say what I was gonna say to the end.
No, I was just gonna say you can watch it on Nickelodeon, because it's on Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah,
to be
the
honest.
Nickelodeon's also gonna have it on, but if not, it's on CBS or Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
But because I don't have either one, so I don't know how I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna be at work, so I'll find a way. But guys, who you guys have winning it?
Kansas City.
You think Kansas City win it?
Kansas City.
What's the score, David, going to be for you?
Oof. Oh, come on. I'm going to go for an easy one. 27-24. 3-point lead.
All right, so
I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to continue like they did with the Ravens, so like 10 points. But I think it will help enough for.
Okay, see, I got the Chiefs as well, but I got them winning by 14. Surprisingly,
14.
Yeah, it's gonna be 31-17. Because the Niners,
17.
yeah, I know the Niners can score a lot, but they haven't faced a defense like the Chiefs. They haven't. Seriously, like they can contain Brock Purdy. They can contain Lamar. They're gonna contain Brock Purdy, because you know how the Lions could not stop Brock Purdy running the ball himself. That was a big key for them winning that game against the Lions. And I think the Chiefs have great corners with Snead and a couple other guys that I don't know their names, but I've seen them play. And I know their linebackers are amazing. But so are the 49ers, but the Chiefs, man. I think they're going to get some turnovers on defense, and they're going to get a lot of red zone opportunities. That's just my prediction right there. But yeah, it's not much to it. I got Chiefs beating the Niners 31-17.
Look, I'm gonna disagree with you guys. Look. I want the Chiefs to win.
Wait, what?
I want the Chiefs to win. I'm switching on it, David. I'm switching on it because past time, I really don't like the Niners, right? So I don't want to see them win another Super Bowl. I don't want them to have 6.
You never saw them win a Super Bowl in your lifetime.
That's why, and I don't want to. But I had a lot of family friends that were Niner fans, and we would go over when they made playoffs and stuff, and I just didn't like them. This was before the Niners and Packers played, way before. But as much as I would want the Chiefs to win, I think it's the Niners that are going to win it. As much as it sucks to say, because, look, guys, we got to think about it. We got to look at it on both sides of the ball. We could go defense, right? And I'll tell you right here, I really again, I used Fox Sports to show On defense, overall, the Niners were ranked 9. The Chiefs were ranked higher overall, but it's kind of weird how they ranked. I looked at it. I don't know about the Chiefs' defense being ranked higher. The worst part of the Niners' defense is their passing defense, which they're 14th in the league for, but they're fourth on the run defense, which they're higher than the Chiefs on. Right? The Chiefs have a better passing defense, but the Niners have a better run defense. I think I think what the Chiefs are going to do offensively is they're going to focus obviously on the passing game. I don't think they're going to focus on the run game. Obviously Pacheco is going to get the ball at times. He's going to get he's going to get most of the running back ball, but I think they're going to try to do trick plays. They're going to try to open him up out wide, pass it out to him because a lot of what the Chiefs scheme is going to be is passing the ball. They're going to get Kittle the ball a lot. Obviously, the story's written for him and Taylor Swift and all that other stuff. They're going to get him the ball a lot. They're going to get the ball out to Marquez Valdez Scantling. They're going to get it out to Rice. They're going to get it out to Watson if they need to go that deep into the wide receiver room. And like I said, running backs, they're going to open them out wide and they're going to pass it out to him. Mahomes is going to be scrambling. They're going to pick on the Niners part. That's where that's the cons of it. That's the cons of the Niners potentially losing the game because I see it, the pros and cons of why I think the Niners are going to win it. I see they're going to pick it. So because of that, I think the Niners are scheming already. Their secondary is getting ready. Middle linebackers, corners, safeties. They're getting ready to have to face pretty much Travis Kelce. And that's like their main thing. Stopping Travis Kelce. Let everyone else try to make plays, be playmakers. Travis Kelce is the one we need to stop. For that, I don't think they're going to worry too much on the run defense because the run defense is really great. How are you going to stop Chase Young and Nick Bosa? Just them two alone, and they have other great defensive linemen. All of them are pretty much at Pro Bowl level. The other two or three are at Pro Bowl level. So because of that, they're not worried about the run because again, forcing Pacheco to go out wide. But that pressure on the QB, Mahomes is literally going to have 2-3 seconds to do anything. Think about it, guys. He's going to have 2 or 3 seconds because you're going to have Bosa on either your left or your right, and then Chase Young on the opposite side. Who's enough on the Chiefs O line is going to be able to stop Chase Young and Nick Bosa? Who?
Honestly, I don't know anybody on the Chiefs O-line, so I can't tell you.
Okay, but that's my point. You're gonna have to double up on Nick Bosa, so that means you're leaving a gap for someone else, right? And Chase Young might just be a distraction for other players. So Mahomes is gonna have to be very, very quick. I think they're gonna leave one middle linebacker to be a quarterback spy because they're gonna force Mahomes to move out a lot. They're gonna force one middle linebacker to be a quarterback spy. So it's going to be a lot of that, and I think the Niners have the players to do it against the Chiefs offense that don't really have enough offensive weapons to beat it through. That's just my opinion, and then that's what I think has been showing. Offensively, yes, I've been saying all season Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. I'm not changing my mind on that. He is a system quarterback. But how is this Chiefs defense gonna stop the best running back in the league?
That's the
Chris
Ravens.
Jones. Well, no.
Tears
But
ACL.
David, John, come on. David,
They reduced him to 10 points, Gio. No one in the playoffs has done that. Even the 49ers couldn't retain that
Okay,
another
but
team.
David, but who have the Chiefs played that have had one of the best running backs in the league?
Well, the strongest
Who?
team they played were the Bills. That's the only one I could tell
Yeah,
you.
James Cook.
But who was the running? James Cook. He's not even one of the best running backs. He's not even a top 5 running back.
He's just okay.
Sure,
He
you
had some good
could
games.
throw him top 10 or top 50. He had a couple good games, but he's nothing compared to Christian McCaffrey. The Ravens, the Chiefs defense hasn't played the best running back. You're talking the Miami game. Mostert, it was freezing. That man was frozen. He wasn't getting anything. You go to Ravens, they barely use Hill or Edwards. It was Lamar doing most of the running. So that line, Chris Jones is great at pressuring the quarterback. I'm not saying he won't. Brock Purdy would need to be ready to go against these other this pressure. And I mean you have You have Trent Williams, who's one of the best O lines in the league, arguably the best O line in the league right now. So he's gonna have to be going against Chris Jones. You're gonna have to assign him, and most likely Chris Jones is gonna switch sides. So now you're gonna have to watch a double team on the right, and or Trent Williams is gonna have to do something to help out. I think, or he's just gonna focus on his side. But that's weapon number one, Christian McCaffrey. Because even in the games they lost, even in the games that the Niners have lost, Christian McCaffrey has still scored a passing or rushing touchdown, or sometimes both, even though they lost. So how are you gonna stop him? How is that Chiefs D line gonna be able to stop him? That's one. Two, Debo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Those three. The Chiefs are best for their secondary, their pass defense. Okay, so now this is what we're gonna see. How is Brock Purdy gonna be able to play with his three weapons being covered up?
We'll
How
see
they're
if
gonna
he throws
play?
picks or not.
Who's gonna? We're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a lot more of Ayuk opening up more and getting the ball more, or getting more targets, because they're gonna be putting one or two on Kittle and one or two on Debo. So you're gonna see a lot of 1v1s on Ayuk. I think he's gonna be getting the ball. That's the only way to scheme it, in my opinion, that the Chiefs could try to contain it. That's the only way. Because all you have to do is hope Brock Purdy isn't skillful enough to make these passes. So lock him up and just make sure Brock Purdy just say, hey, they talking about you being the MVP? Okay, let's see if you really in that MVP conversation. Let's see if you're there. Let's see if you're skillful enough to be in there. Force him to throw. I mean, not force him to throw, but let's see what Brandon Ayuk see what he does. But that's the best thing. That's what the Chiefs are best at. So now I propose to you guys, or I'm telling you guys, because you guys
Mm.
are signed with the Chiefs. If you're the Chiefs, what are you doing? Are you just securing that you guys are the best pass defense, not the best pass defense, but one of the best pass defense, and you guys are going to stick to that and allow Christian McCaffrey to run 200 yards in this game, which he hasn't ran 200 yards in a game. He's gotten a total of it with catches, which is another aspect of Christian McCaffrey. He could catch the ball and run. We've seen plenty of those Brock Purdy 5-yard checkdowns to Christian McCaffrey. So I'm telling you guys, are they going to do that, or are they going to try to bulk up the middle linebackers, the D line, and stop Christian McCaffrey and allow Purdy to pass the ball? Because all he needs is 5-10 yard passes.
I think they're going to blitz a lot, and they're going to contain Purdy, and they're going to let McCaffrey run for like 110 yards, and they're going to try to keep it a low scoring game for the Niners, and they're going to make Brock Purdy try to throw passes in the red zone and see what he can do with that. I think they're gonna try to make it like a field goal game for the Niners. That's my guess is how they're gonna beat them.
I agree with you. I think in the end zone, they're going to focus on stopping McCaffrey and allowing the passes. But John, who in that secondary, if let's say they blitz, right? All you need is a Christian McCaffrey RPO to a little, or not even Christian McCaffrey, a Debo Samuel RPO, or Christian McCaffrey just to open up out wide, Jets would pass, let him run. Who on that secondary is going to be able to catch up to him and stop him? You're telling me Snead.
Yeah.
Stop that big Christian McCaffrey, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not saying Snead is bad. I'm just saying, is he going to be able to stop him out in the open field going 1v1?
Sure, they won't contain him for like long, but like they could stop him for a few drives probably.
Maybe. And I think what we're going to see a lot of is Jusic being used as that fullback, because like you say, they're going to blitz a lot, right? So if they want to run it with Christian McCaffrey, Jusic is going to be that fullback taking that blitz, covering that blitz. So that's what I see. I do see the cons. There are cons to the Niners. You know, you had to make Purdy be a quarterback. That's pretty much what it is. You had to make him show that he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You know, there's all these other things to it. But I think just overall, the weapons all around, they're just more well-rounded than the Chiefs. And they showed it all season. And David, you have a point. They haven't looked as good in the playoffs like they did in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You have a point about it. The Packers have gone up on them. The Lions have gone up on them. But just like John said, you give them a little bit of hope, and it's done for.
And you think the Chiefs and Andy Reid's gonna let them get hope? There's a reason why they made the 6 AFC championships. And look, Gio, you and me are the opposites. You want you want the Chiefs to win, but you know the 49ers are gonna win. I'm the opposite. I want the 49ers to win, but I know the Chiefs are going to win. One, my fanboy, like, I never saw the 49ers win the Super Bowl, so it'll be cool to see the 49ers win the Super Bowl for me. And I'm already tired of seeing the Chiefs again and get another championship. It's starting to get old. But for me,
I
they're
agree
more
with that.
convincing how they've been playing in the last final games of the season in the playoffs. They detained the Ravens, who were the best team in the league, to only 10 points, Gio. The 49ers only won their last games by 3 points. I'm not including the game against the Miami because for me that should have never happened, and that's obviously a game that the Chiefs were a bit more comfortable. And going back 4 years ago, the Chiefs already played the 49ers. So for me,
But that's a different team,
different team, but same
completely
coaches,
different green. But
maybe a
but
bit more.
it's not. But you don't have Christian McCaffrey. He was on the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
You had Jimmy G, that was your quarterback. And not only that, once they started losing the Niners, they were forcing Jimmy G to make these passes. They were forcing him because the Niners were telling Jimmy, dude, we need a play. We need this. We need that. We need you to throw 30-yard ball. We need this because Jimmy G is a quarterback that only throws 10-yard passes, 15 at best. And you're asking him to go double that. That's why you saw those interceptions at the end. So I understand your point. Yes, same coaches, 100%. You're right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Different team, and that was a young Nick Bosa. I think he was a rookie or a sophomore in the league. But continue.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But no, you're fine. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure all the flaws that you mentioned that who the Chiefs have to worry about. Don't you think Andy Reid already knows what he has to do? He's been coaching for what, 30 something years probably. He really has a plan. I'm pretty sure he has a plan on what to do if things go left or if things go right for them, for the Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes, he just can't stop him. Like him or not, in the playoffs he has 718 passing yards. And the 49ers never played a team like the Chiefs. Everyone in the NFC, they haven't been that like that. We all know the AFC have the better teams. The NFC has just been the 49ers. And the surprising, I should say I guess and your Green Bay Packers, I don't know how to describe them. Like they're like the surprise of the season. How you didn't expect them to make the playoffs, and they did.
The
And
Lions.
they, what was that? And the
The
Lions,
Lions.
yes,
Pretty
and your
much the NFC
Packers.
North, bro. The whole NFC North almost beat the 49ers because the Vikings beat them earlier in the year. So like that's the only division that's given the Niners trouble. Everyone else like, oh, cakewalk, 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 walking through this, just gonna run the ball with McCaffrey. Oh, let me just throw down a Debo. Oh, 40 points this game. Like nobody even gave him a shot besides the Ravens. The Ravens are the only one that humbled the Niners this whole year. Besides, like I was saying, the Vikings beat them, but yeah. But David, yeah, you're right. They haven't
Yeah.
faced too much competition, so it's
Mhm.
pretty much where it's at.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
then who had the Chiefs play that are competition aside from
Bills,
the Ravens? Aside from the Ravens, so the Bills. Okay,
yeah.
Mhm.
so then the Bills did it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, and they played in Buffalo, snowy. Their fans, it's more the Bills they were the favorites, and it took
Yeah.
a missed field goal to literally decide the fate of the game. I still personally believe that the Chiefs, after they gained the ball, they would still reach to the end zone or at least another field goal.
okay, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But in the Niners in defense, they played the Cowboys, which we're
Oh,
not going
come
to
on.
deny. No,
Dude, their
no, wait,
ass.
no. Wait, come on, let's be logical here. We're going to talk about them being bad in the regular season.
That's their memo. They're good in the regular season, but they're ass in the playoffs.
Oh, okay, but that's the point. That's where the Niners played them, and the Niners destroyed the Cowboys in the regular season. Yes, that was the only time they played because the Cowboys weren't good enough to make it in the playoffs. They weren't good enough. So then you have it. That's one of them. The Eagles. They played the Eagles. And this is the time where the Eagles weren't even on the downfall yet this season. This is the time where the Eagles were actually still up there.
But this, no, you mentioned something. This is when the Eagles were before their downfall. But this is when the 49ers were on their rise. The 49ers are not the
Yeah.
same, like in the beginning of the season.
Okay. But
Mhm.
that's the thing. They played these teams even at the team's best. And the Cowboys were one of the best teams in the league. They were a top 5 team in the league. They were. They were over the Bills. So I'll give you the Ravens. Ravens were number 1, 100% number 1, no question. Niners were 2. I believe it was Eagles 3, and actually, yeah, the rest were NFC. Cowboys were on there. I think number 5 was damn, who was number 5? I can't think off the top of my head. I don't think it was Miami. Was it Miami? But that's the thing. They played these hard teams during their peaks, right? I understand if it was during the downfall. Okay, yeah, the Niners didn't play a good Eagles team, right? The Niners didn't play this.
To be honest, the Eagles didn't even look good at the beginning of the year, even when they were winning games. They were winning by like 1 or 2 points. Like they just squeaked by. They beat the Vikings by 1 point, like on a Thursday night game, or they'll beat like freaking the only teams they beat convincingly were the Commanders and the Giants, except for the last game of the year they lost to the Giants, obviously. But earlier in the year they destroyed the Giants. But like they only win by like a field goal, it seems like every game, and it just didn't seem convincing. Like I know they beat the Bills, which come on, that was a great win, but like just by 3 points.
No.
It's like
Look, that's my take. That's your guys' take. We're about to see this Sunday.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, just I'm totally wrong.
I hope I am. Look, I'm saving my point why I think they're gonna win, but I want the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
I have my personal reasons why I want the Chiefs to win, but
One last
unbiased, I think the Niners.
one last thing. Last episode that you and me talked about, Gio, we had conspiracy theories.
I was gonna bring not conspiracy, but go ahead.
Mhm.
What were we gonna say?
The perfect ending. Taylor Swift runs on the field celebrating with the Super Bowl. What a fairy tale. They live happily ever after.
Yeah, it's all scripted, guys. It's all
Mhm.
scripted. One thing I was gonna say more
Speaking
on
of,
the game.
well, I'll mention after. I was gonna say,
So they always keep track of which team wins depending on the jersey color, and for the most part, I believe 19 out of the last 22 games, it's been the team that's in white, and the only teams that have ended that were the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. They had the green, right? And I forgot the other two. I remember like the most recent, I believe, was the Eagles, which they tried to do it again last year but didn't. So now, earlier last week, the Chiefs announced they're wearing the red uniforms. So are the Chiefs gonna beat the white jersey curse? Well, I guess the
yes.
colored jersey curse. The Chiefs gonna be the ones to end it because I don't. To be honest, I don't recall. I think they wore white when they beat the Niners. I think, but I could be wrong.
let me double check on that. The 49ers
Yeah,
were white on 2020.
the 49ers. So yeah, so then the Chiefs, they were the other team to beat it in a colored jersey. See, so I missed that. But they were the other team to win in a colored jersey. So the most recent wasn't the Eagles, the most recent was the Chiefs. They're looking to go back to back on it. And I think that's why they chose to wear the red. So if you guys want to place your bets, I don't know. All of them always say coin toss. Apparently the team before last year, last Super Bowl, the team that won the coin toss had like the percentage of the team that won the coin toss was higher than the team that lost it. Something like that. I remember it was from last year. But yeah, the team, yeah. So there's a lot of different changes, and I think that was true last year because last year the Chiefs were white, but the how was
Eagles
it?
were
Yeah, but
black.
the Eagles. No. I forgot because they were going opposites. I remember as the game happened, I think like the Chiefs won the coin toss, but they were white, and it was like, oh, but the Eagles wanted the color, so are they gonna beat it, or it was something like I can't remember what I was thinking at the time, but it was like it was if the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they're breaking one of those conspiracy things, because those conspiracies. So I it slipped off the top of my head right now, but yeah, so keep an eye on the coin toss, keep an eye on the jerseys colors, keep track. But yeah, that's all I really had to say.
Cool.
Well, one last thing. Do you want to predict the score?
Yeah. What is it, Gio?
I don't like doing that, but
You gotta do
Just
it.
get one. I didn't like it either, but
yeah,
John forced me to.
I'm gonna do. I think it's Niners. This is gonna be Niners 28-21.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
2021.
9-7 or something.
No, 28
Because it
21.
has 9 in the name.
Yeah, no. No. So I have the Niners winning by a touchdown.
Alrighty.
But yeah, guys. Well, that's it for this episode. Just
No,
a short.
wait a minute, guys.
What happened?
You want to jump on to what happened to the quiz, Super Bowl quiz?
All right, let's do it. Let's do a quick one.
Oh, my bad.
Super Bowl, Gio. Oh my God, Gio.
That's my fault. Let's go. Let's go,
Gio
David.
jumped the gun.
We gotta go quick here.
Okay. All right, fellas. Today I got 6 questions. Yeah, I'll do 6.
Oh, all right. Let's go a little fast.
All right.
Speed run.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. How many Super Bowl appearances do the Patriots have? A 10, B 11, or C 12? 10, 11, or 12? Yes, appearances.
10.
Super.
They should have 10.
Giovanni,
Yeah, 10.
you both pick 10?
Yeah.
You're wrong. It's 11.
11.
I thought it was 10 or 11. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
They have 6 wins, 2 losses to the Giants.
They lost to the Eagles once, and then
Lost to the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
That one I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
they
about
won
the Eagles
6 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they won 6, and then they lost 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Okay, number 2. How many Super Bowl wins does Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman have? You guys? This
That's
might
a good one.
He's from West Covina. That's where I was born.
Yep.
Yeah,
Him and
started
Joe
off at
Buck, buddy.
Oklahoma, transferred to UCLA.
Yep. All right. So answers are
Yep.
A2, B3, or C4. 2, 3, or 4.
4.
Doesn't he have 4? I thought he had 2.
I think it's 4.
2, 3, or 4.
2.
Damn it, guys! It's 3.
I couldn't. I was either 4 or 3. I was like,
Troy
you know
Aikman
what,
has
this-
3.
Because I know no 4 is too high. The Cowboys only have 5 rings. He know damn well he wasn't winning all those.
He was in a lot of NFC Championship games, though. I remember.
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't
he
alive,
has
so-
how many? You said Super Bowl wins, right?
Yeah, Super Bowl wins.
Yeah. So he wasn't gonna. He didn't win. That's why I thought it was like 2, 3. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
3's good.
Yeah, 3 is good.
All right.
All right, next.
Number 3. Who played in the first Super Bowl?
Can I
Was
just
it
say the
A?
answer? Can
What was
I just
that?
say the answer? Can I just say the answer?
John, what's the answer? John, I'll first give the answers for John.
Okay,
Is it
go
A,
ahead.
Chiefs versus Packers, B, Steelers versus Raiders, or C, Packers versus Steelers? John?
Steelers versus Raiders.
You're sticking to
Did
that
you
one?
get my answer?
It's probably Packers.
Yes, Gio.
No, it's Packers.
It's Chiefs versus Packers here at the LA Coliseum.
Wow, Gio, good job. Yeah.
Yeah, Packers won. Was it?
Damn, I didn't know you
13-10,
were born in
something like that?
1940, Gio.
Dude, you gotta catch up a little on history sometimes.
No, they won 10-35.
10-35.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I have no idea what score I saw.
Yeah,
when
this
I
was on
looked it up.
January 15, 1967, at the LA
Okay,
Coliseum.
Yeah, I knew it was here in LA.
Okay.
It's too long time ago to look back at gray and white games.
Yeah.
Bro, you had to think about it. The Packers were on a run in their own league at the time. They had 13 championships in their own league. They
Alrighty.
were on a run.
All right.
good.
Number 4.
Next.
This upcoming Super Bowl will be number 56, 57, or 58.
I'm going to see 58.
John?
57.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
All right, Gio, you won. You got this one right.
Yeah, 2. I got 2 right.
Do you hear them?
I hear. Yeah. It's okay. Let's go. Number 5.
Number 5. When was the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl? A. 1994, B. 96, or C. 1998?
98.
I guess 98. Oh.
Lock it in? Wait.
I was going to go 98 anyways, yeah.
Lock it in?
No, I'm not changing. I'm going to go 90. You said 96?
94,
98.
96, or 97? 98.
90. Yeah,
94, 96, and
confident
98.
there. I'll go 96 just to change it up.
Okay. And you're both wrong. It's 94.
Oh.
What? That long?
Yeah.
I was going to get it wrong anyway. What?
Yeah. And guess who
Was
they
it
played?
Cowboys that won in 98?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check. But
The
It
Cowboys
doesn't
won in
matter.
the 90s,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
You guess what-
Cowboys won in 95 or 96. But David, who they play?
The Chargers.
Thought it was the Bengals, but I guess not.
No, they beat the Chargers. The Chargers' only Super Bowl appearances. Yeah, just for
That's
fun of it.
David.
Just for fun of it, number 6. You already won anyways, but
Yeah.
when did the Chiefs win their first Super Bowl? Is it
I don't
A,
know.
1970, B, 2020, or C, 1986?
70.
86.
86.
I said
Congratulations, John. You got your first right answer. 1970 against the Vikings.
Yeah, I knew it was a long time they didn't win a Super Bowl because I knew it was like 30 plus years.
Yeah. But Gio, you
Dude,
won
it's
this.
40 with the 80s. That's 50 plus years, John.
So yeah. All right, my dogs are getting pissed. Let's end this.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations, Giovanni. You won the Super Bowl quiz. You won absolutely nothing. Just knowledge.
Right.
Just knowledge.
There we go. Well, like I was going to close it off, guys. This is our Super Bowl episode. I thought it was going to be short, but what is it? Well, guys, this is our Super Bowl episode. Thank you guys for listening. Once again, this is Sideline Thoughts. I'm Joe Galvez. That's David Reyes, John Greenstein, however you're showing on your cameras. See you guys.
See you later.